Imagine a world where you're scrambling to study for the GMAT or GRE, writing essays, corralling recommenders, taking supplemental classwork, researching and visiting target programs, and working each day at your job, all at once. Pretty overwhelming? Well, we're here today to discuss your ideal MBA application timeline. Emphasis on ideal, so that you can avoid that type of situation. We want to give you structure to stay organized, reduce your deadline stress, and ensure that you do your best with your MBA applications. Hi, I'm Shinewald, founder and president of mbaMission, and in my decades helping thousands of applicants, I've certainly found, unsurprisingly, that there's a very high correlation between preparation and success. So let's talk about preparation. Let's launch into this discussion with the pre-application phase, a period that begins, well, now or even yesterday, and continues until our application essays start to come out in April or May of your application year. Before you're in the throes of applications, you ideally want to get your GMAT, GRE, or executive assessment out of the way, both for organizational purposes and to inform your list of target MBA programs. Most applicants need a minimum of 4 months to study for and take their test, and many take the test more than once, or even more than 2 or 3 times. For some, the process can take a year or longer. So working backward, the very latest you want to start studying is in November of the year preceding your application, because 6 months after that November, and you are in April, and you're in the midst of the application process. Of course, we strongly encourage you to start earlier. As soon as you determine that you're going to apply, consider starting your testing process. Getting your testing done early won't just take the stress out of the process, it'll give you another advantage. If the quantitative part of your testing doesn't work out, and you don't have evidence of your quantitative ability in your college transcript, then you'll have time to develop a supplemental transcript to prove your quantitative abilities. By taking quantitative courses like calculus, statistics, or economics, and earning A's or a series of B pluses at worst, you show the admissions committee that you can manage the rigorous MBA curriculum. You don't want to discover a quant deficiency when you complete your test and start applying. So if you're worried about revealing quantitative competencies, then start your testing process early and leave time for a semester of classwork or HBS's online Credential of Readiness program. Again, hopefully finishing your classes well ahead of your application start in April. Of course, another aspect of the pre-application process is broadening your profile. You basically can't launch into community endeavors or firm-building activities like training or mentoring in the April before you apply. Ideally, you'll have built that community, quasi-extracurricular, or personal profile in the year or, far preferably, years before you apply to an MBA program. While programs are interested in your impact, not the amount of time you spent in these areas, ideally, you can show a lengthy and impactful commitment. You should ideally, there's that word again, ideally, show that you've completed your research on your target programs prior to your application year, both because choosing schools armed with that information is important to you, and because admissions officers will want to know that you've done your homework on their program. So you should speak with students, chat with alums, attend admissions events, and hopefully even complete a class visit to your target programs ahead of our April guideline. You'd be surprised how hard it is to get the step done in a timely manner, a step that's crucial in writing informed personal statements and answering questions in interviews like, why our program? Finally, the uber-prepared applicant will have crafted their resume prior to April of their application year, done some job shadowing to thoughtfully write about their post-MBA careers, and will have potentially inquired with their firm about sponsorship. This is a dizzying list of tasks, but this is why we advise you to take all these steps so that when you get to the application phase, you can apply. Focus on those applications. Okay, at last, we're in the application phase, which, as noted, begins with essays coming out in April and May, maybe even into June for some programs, and will ideally last only until September or October when the first round deadline passes. Ideally, you'll apply in the first round when every spot in the class is open. But as we've discussed in this video, your chances change only minimally in the second round. So don't panic if you can't get all of your applications done in round 1. Remember, in this video, we're talking about an ideal. During the application phase, you'll spend your time applying. Most applicants apply to 4 to 6 programs. Of course, you can determine, or we can discuss what's right for you with respect to your strategy. Meanwhile, we would highly recommend that you brainstorm and start writing your essays soon after they come out. You'll probably want to spend 1 to 2 hours twice a week and a few hours on the weekend each week refining those essays. They're so critical. until you have your 4 to 6 applications truly done. Simultaneously, you'll need to, and this is more time consuming than you could imagine, manage the recommendation process. You'll need to meet with your recommenders, discuss your accomplishments, and then ensure that they're on track through periodic check-ins. Also, you'll need to answer the many nebulous short answer questions in the applications themselves. There are many lurking. You really don't want to do this at the last minute. And if you got that resume ready in the pre-application phase, you can make a few last-minute updates and finally submit. And now you can wait for and start preparing for interviews, which come out in October or November, and then cross your fingers, first round decisions arrive in December and January. Wow, you got in, you're done, right? Not quite. Post-application, hopefully you won't just get one offer, but you'll be weighing your many offers and applying for scholarships or weighing scholarships. Maybe you'll also be starting a student loan process or a student visa process, quitting your job and starting to plan for your pre-MBA travels. Imagine knowing your fate in January and having until your program starts in the late summer or early fall to enjoy your life, wrap up loose ends, and potentially move to a new city. Way better than rushing at a deadline. All right, that was a whirlwind, but if you follow this timeline, we know that you won't regret it. If you want to go deeper on this subject, please read the long-term planning section of my book, The Complete Start to Finish Guide to MBA Admissions. And if you want to discuss the areas of your application to strengthen in advance of your application, we encourage you to take us up on our free consultation. During your free session with one of our experienced consultants, we'll give you a half hour of our time and help ensure that you have direction on the road to submitting your application. One final note, if you enjoyed this video, please press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more application tips and advice. Good luck with your long-term planning and good luck with your applications.